and say hi. Oh, gotta get. Got that. Go.
What's the first country that comes to your mind when you think about the continent of Asia? Nepal, right? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. The culture of Nepal is extremely diverse. I've always wondered about the culture of Nepal and the Himalayan mountains, and I've done extensive research on the internet about the country. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the country, where it's located, different types of people there, and different languages they speak. Second, I will talk to you about the culture of Nepal. And lastly, I will tell you about the unique communication behaviors of Nepal. Nepal has a very diverse and rich culture. It is located in the Himalayan mountains of South Asia, with India to the east, south, and west, and China to the north. Up until 1990, the economy of Nepal was closed to the outside countries and basically was self-sufficient. Since then, according to Country Studies Online Country Profile Nepal, the government increasingly has adopted market-oriented policies with greater liberalization of the domestication of the domestic economy and trade. These policies have focused on privatizing state industries and creating joint venture projects, particularly in financial institutions. Nepal is home to many different ethnic groups, including more than 100 different groups that are classified down into 5 main groups, on the basis of shared prominent cultural traits. The first are the Hindus, which is 59% of the population. Second is indigenous Panahitas, which is 31%. Third is the Newars, which is 5.5%. The Muslims, which are 4.3%, and others, a category that includes Sikhs, Bengalis, Marwaris, and Jains, which is 0.2%. Nepal also has a large number of languages spoken. In the 2001 census, listed 92 languages spoken as mother tongues, and an indeterminate number of languages that were categorized as unknown. Many languages are rarely spoken outside of specific areas, but knowledge of more than one language is common. Nepali, obviously, is the national language and the most common mother tongue, spoken by 48% of the population, as well as the most common second language. Another thing is tourism, which is a very important component of the economy. But although the government has undertaken various measures to increase tourism, the deteriorating security situation has hurt the industry. Since the early 1990s, the government has abolished travel restrictions in some remote areas, constructed numerous tourist centers, and allowed access to additional 103 mountains. This creates a total of 263 mountains that can be accessed by tourists. As well as various ethnic groups and languages, the culture of Nepal is very diverse. For instance, Nepal is the world's only constitutionally declared Hindu state, and the Constitution protects religious freedom and cultural freedom. According to the 2001 census, 80% of Nepalese are Hindu. Statistics on religious groups are complicated by the ubiquity of dual faith practices, particularly among Hindus and Buddhists. Moreover, shifts in the population's religious composition also reflect political changes. The 1990 Constitution ended the government's promotion of Hindu nationalism and official suppression of political participation based on religious, cultural, and linguistic traits. This policy has enabled greater freedom of religious expression and allowed the census to officially enumerate more religious groups. One of the biggest tourist attractions of Nepal is the Himalayan mountains. People have been flocking to Nepal to see this wondrous mountain range for centuries simply because of its immense beauty. When traveling to Nepal, we might as well leave our cell phones and laptops at home. This is because Nepal mainly uses direct face-to-face contact and communication as opposed to computers, cell phones, or other digital devices. According to the World Factbook Online, Nepal, out of the country's 30 million citizens, only 1 million use phones. Nepal has a low power distance as well. Most of the country's inhabitants are very equal, as in they live their day-to-day lives and work every day with just enough money to get by. Also, Nepal is a collectivistic country. Most of the things that citizens do are for their families and or other citizens. Nepal is a country with a very diverse culture that would be a beautiful vacation spot. Now that we all know a little bit more about Nepal's ethnicities, religions, and communication habits, Let me conclude by saying that Nepal is a very diverse country that is fueled by the collectivistic nature of its citizens.